Alrighty, everyone. Today we're gonna dive in. Hello, everyone, and welcome. It is Friday, and I wanted to pop in and um, share a few things. So, first of all, I don't know about you, but I feel like this week has been absolutely intense. I feel like this is my first week back from winter break, or first full week back from winter break. Um, but goodness gracious, I feel like this week was wild. So here in the United States, we have Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So we don't have school on Monday. And I've been doing a lot of thinking over the past few days, especially um, about what I'm doing over break. Especially when I really think back to my first few years of teaching, where every single time I had a break or a weekend, I was working on developing my curriculum. I was working on lesson plans. I was working on just absorbing all types of content. So essentially, I was working. So I'm to let you know, I'm not going to be, any lesson plans on Monday. Instead, I am going to be spending the time with my foster son, who is amazing, but goodness gracious, 2-year-old boys have a lot of energy. I'm going to hopefully get my house a little bit cleaner. Hopefully, maybe spend some time with some of my friends. Um, but I won't be left. I'm not going to be developing my curriculum, and I'm not going to be coming up with ideas for new performances. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because this was not this is not the same thing that it's always been. It hasn't always been that way. And the way that I got from lesson planning from one lesson at a time and really spending all of my time outside of the school day working on my lesson plans to where I am now, where I don't lesson plan at home, was a lot of trial and error. I made a lot of mistakes. I tried things that I shouldn't, that were just not great. There were times where I would, try to use a curriculum map that I was able to find online or, in a book, and it just really kind of copy and paste it into my curriculum, and it obviously just didn't work. Um, so what I've been doing over the past few years, I've kind of developed a way of kind of going through the steps so that you don't have to make the same mistakes that I took. And I'm going to be giving a keynote presentation on this exact topic at the Elementary Music Mini Summit. So if you haven't claimed your ticket, it's a free ticket to the Elementary Music Mini Summit. If you are on Instagram, all you have to do is type the word details, and we will send you some information about that. But so this is a keynote training all about streamlining and strengthening your lessons, while your lesson planning, while also making sure that you're not working from home. Because again, if you are working on lesson plans at home, I want it to be because it's something you want to do. Like maybe you're trying something brand new and you want to kind of give something a little new, not because you have to figure out what you're going to be doing on lesson, what you're teaching tomorrow. You already have that done. So how does that look different in my life now? So now that I've kind of gone through the steps that I'm going to be sharing in this keynote, I'm able to bust out a lot of lesson plans in the same amount of time that it would have taken me to write one lesson plan my first few years. And I firmly believe that not only was I able to produce more lesson plans in the same amount of time I would do one, they're just better lessons. And I think, obviously when the longer we teach, that's, we typically get better at lesson planning and iterating on our curriculum. But what's really frustrating is it takes us so long to do that because we might be on a rotation and we're developing so many simultaneous curriculums rather than one curriculum. We're doing a kindergarten music, we're doing first grade music, we're doing a second grade, yada yada yada. So we don't necessarily get the opportunities, those kind of touch points, as often as maybe someone who's outside of the music classroom, because of just the way that our schedules work a little bit. So it can take a long time. Point being is that it can take you longer to figure out how to how to get these lesson plan things done, how to figure out how we can get multiple plans done in one planning period. I loved not being able to, or not having to bring any of my school stuff home. One, because I'm really bad at taking it back to school. So I would end up with just like a pile of books and things that I really probably should have had to school. Like I would have tuning forks just everywhere. Here I already have so many. Because I would just take them home and I would just leave them on a counter and they would never come back. And it really makes me happy walking out of school on a long weekend and not taking lesson plans home and not taking any work home. I am going to enjoy the weekend. I'm going to the wonderful weather here in Ohio, cold, windy, snowy. It's gross. But I want to be able to use my time for what I want to use it for. Um, Quite frankly, since I've had my foster kids in the house, it has been a huge adjustment each time I've gotten a placement because I have to, a lot of my time is just automatically no longer mine anymore, because I'm making sure that they're eating and, getting ready for bed and, all these different things that are the reality of when it's not just you. And I really like that I'm able to focus when I'm home and when he's awake on what we're doing, not figuring out what I'm going to do in the lesson the next day. And that is what I'm going to be sharing in this, in the keynote training at the Elementary Music Mini Summit. So again, if you haven't grabbed your ticket, you can grab one for free over at thatmusicteacher.com/summit. Or if you are on Instagram, all you'd have to do is type in details, and we will send a link your way. So this keynote is all about streamlining and strengthening your lesson planning process without working from home. And this is something that I presented for because it is one of my favorite topics because it's just it really is transformative. It sounds super dramatic and cliche, but by allowing yourself to get more done at school and have it be better quality, you are really have giving yourself the opportunity to transform your life, really, because you are able to do whatever you want with that time. What I did with that time was create that music teacher. um, you don't necessarily need to fill it with what I fill it with, but like it, it's your choice, and that's where I really think when we're able to take steps to get everything done that we need to get done without overwhelming ourselves, without taking on too much, without just constantly, filling out of an empty pot. I think that's where the awesome stuff happens because we're not stressed out. We have more time to lesson plan because we're ahead. Who would have thought? So we're able to create better lessons. We're not rushing to create a lesson the day before or maybe 10 minutes before. We're sorry, we're giving ourselves time to develop manipulatives. We're getting ourselves time to cut out and print and laminate things if we needed to. We're actually able to look further into our curriculum and back into our curriculum and kind of see where everything connects because we have a plan. We're not just flying the plane while we're building it. Um, so again, I would love to have you join us for the Elementary Music Mini Summit. Let me see how many people we have registered because y'all, I every time someone grabs their ticket, I get an email. And a lot of emails. I want to turn that setting off because it's a lot, but my ADHD brain just loves that dopamine hit too much. So I love seeing that. So all right, see, as of 8:29 p.m. Oh, what is all this? All right, as of 8:29 p.m. Eastern time, we currently have 1,471 elementary music teachers have already grabbed their free ticket to the Elementary Music Mini Summit, which I do not take that lightly. That makes like I every time I do an event like this, I'm always humbled by the support and the outpour of just people that are excited to help and to learn and share. That just makes my teacher heart so full. So the fact that we almost 1,500 people that have already claimed their ticket, that's just really cool. So again, I'm going to be leading a keynote training. We actually just released the schedule. So actually, as soon as I get done here, I'm going to hit send on a few things, which will pop out the order of the session, some more descriptions and things like that. So I'm going to leave that there so I can get that done. But if you have not already grabbed your free ticket to the Elementary Music Mini Summit, head on over to thatmusicteacher.com/summit and grab your spot because it is going to be an awesome time and I don't want you to miss out. And an important thing, in case nobody's told you, thank you so much for making a difference in the lives of the students that you teach.